Well, hello there, Scorpio. Welcome to Pirate Readings. I'm Lady J, and I'm here to talk to you about September. September is going to have 4 weeks, so we'll have 4 columns of cards and then 3 rows as per usual. It's a really cool month. Let's go ahead and light a beautiful candle for you. We're going to use the San Benito candle. It has got a prayer on it of protection, and that will be immediately in effect the moment we light it. I will not read the prayer today, but remember it from last month. It was a good one, and it's good. So we're going to go ahead and light it and know that we are protected. Once lit. All right, so here we are, and we are protected. Ta-da! So very cool. All right, I'm going to put that down right here. I want to start out, Scorpio, by thanking you so much for all your likes, shares, and subscribes. You all matter so much to me. It's beautiful to see you here again. Thank you for coming back. And if Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising, this is totally your reading. It will help you in some way. Thank you so much. As always, it's not a one-to-one reading. It's a collective reading. So take what resonates and leave the rest. All right. So this is the month when we're going to have the final vote on what to do about naming my beautiful little turtle here. It is going to be on the final week of September. I will remind you weekly about it, so you can go ahead and, until the final week, go ahead and add in your vote for your name choice, and then we'll do the vote on the final week, okay? So I want to get as many options and possibilities down there as possible, and I want to have as many of you all come back and vote. Ta-da! All right. So messages from my better angels are going to be all about how we need to be aware that illusions have to fall. That would be illusions that we create for other folks, that we look at them through rose-colored glasses, and we don't see them for exactly who they are. So we need to let it fall and be okay with it. Look at people honestly and openly and really see who they are and be like, okay, cool, I get it. And then the next thing you want to do is be aware that we're all in this one together. So we're all working towards common goals together, and we want to lift each other up and help each other out if we can in some way. Figure out what's best for you, Scorpio, but at the same time, the better we are at lifting people up, the less likely we are to have big problems later on, because the universe is still moving and shaking and doing some stuff with the weather and all that stuff, so we still need to have a go bag ready, okay? Things are not done being done. So September could still be shifty, and I want us to be prepared by being as pleasant and kind with all of our neighbors and whatnot, so that we can move through things together. Okay? Cool. Excellent. Let's go ahead and get into these cards. We'll go ahead and use this magical Nordic tarot to get our guiding card for the month. What do we need for you for the entire month? What will be a good card for you? All right, this is the one. All right. This is going to be a card that we revisit over and over every week to remind ourselves of some specific thing to do throughout the month. 9 of Wands. Well, Scorpio, this is about you stepping up and standing up for who you are as a person all month long, okay? Don't compromise yourself. Don't stop being exactly as awesome and beautiful and lovely as you are. Be aware that you are the only one who can be you in this situation. So yeah, you might be unique, and yeah, you might be a little different than the average, but guess what? Different is good, and what you bring to the table is special. So stay true to who you are and let everybody else catch up, okay? Because that is what we need from you, is for you to be all that you can be. Okay, so let us go ahead and get a mystery card for this particular week, which is going to be the first week, which we'll get into at the end of this reading, August 31st through the September 6th. Let us get a card, a mystery card. Oh, there it is. It's right here. All right. So We will set these cards aside, off to one side. All right. And this one here is going to wait for us, and at the end of the reading, we'll look at it, and it will help give us some clarity. All right. Now then, we'll use this Tempest deck because it's very piratey, and I love that for my channel. So it's going to be really cool. We're going to go ahead and use it to go ahead and do the full overview, which is 4 weeks. So 4 columns, 3 rows. The 3 rows represent where we are, what's blocking us, and then the final row is our solution, which is super cool, and I like to get into solutions when we do readings, so that's kind of great. I'll set these aside. Okay, now then, this is the first week of September, the August 31st through the 6th. Let's go ahead and talk about it briefly, and then we'll come back and go in depth at the end. All right. So we have the 6 of Wands. We're showing that Scorpio, one of the main things you're working on this particular week is to teach people what you know, educate other people, help them learn what you know, because you went to school for it and you're excited to share your knowledge. You're bringing people up. You're helping them understand things. It could be about other people that you work with. It could be about, whatever it is your wheelhouse is. Stay in that wheelhouse, but educate, right? This is about you educating others. What's blocking you? You are blocked remembering lessons from your past. Uh-oh. Oh, Scorpio. So, indeed, there's going to be a moment this week where you're not really going to remember something you've experienced before. You might step on something that you've seen before, but you didn't remember that. Somehow you forgot. So, I want you to just sort of heighten your expectations, heighten your sensitivities, heighten your recall. If you can heighten your recall, you might not have this problem so much, but something from your past is going to come back up, and you're going to forget what to do. It might be just you working with somebody else you already know, but you forget how hard it is to work for them or with them, and you act funny or differently or the same as before, and it gets weird. So you know better. You're about to just step in it again. So be careful as you're educating to be careful about how that goes, okay? Now then, 3 of Pentacles. Other people are observing you and thinking, this person should get a higher rate of pay and should be moving forward in a different way. So there's interesting things happening here, and I really want that for you, and I think that you're doing really well. So I think this is beautiful. People are observing you and seeing what you're doing, and they're like, we could definitely make that person work better in a different situation, and they might want to add more stuff to your plate. So if you're teaching classes or something like that, they're going to be elevating you and adding more classes, okay? So that's good news. There's also more money, by the way. So don't be alarmed if you get more money from that situation. September 7th through the 13th. Aha, 9 of Cups. Your wishes are being fulfilled. If you wanted to expand your world so that you had more classes and more stuff going on, presto changeo, it's all coming together. Ta-da! Very nice. I like that. Everything is working in your favor. And then we get the 9 of Swords blocking you. And the 9 of Swords being a block represents the fact that you're nervous about being in charge. You're not sure how to respond. And that's what it normally means. But it seems like you're not nervous. So you're blocked from your nerves of being in charge. I think part of you is actually stepping into the situation with complete confidence. Nice. So if there was any card that said, by the way, you're going to have complete confidence, that might actually block you because it might be cocky. So I'm just going to say, even as you walk into the room, don't be cocky. Try and be cool and receptive to what's going on around you. You want to check out all the details around you and make sure that you're not missing anything, even as things are getting really good, okay? Page of Cups. New information about something you care about will be coming up this week that will be part of your solution, and it will help you move forward, okay? Oh, and my favorite person is available to be my assistant. Ta-da! Perfect. So now then, the next week over, 14th through the 20th, we are looking at the Three of Swords. Three of Swords. Well, this is all about how new information about ways to be more empowered are coming down the way. Maybe they're deciding on a curriculum they want to create around some of your classes or something like that. For those of you teaching college or whatever, you know, they might make a package. You know, I want to have a whole block of different classes that you teach that will, because clearly you can go in deeper on this and this and this. And now we want to have a whole bunch of people take these classes because we can nudge them into making it a specialty, right? So if you make whatever you're teaching a specialty, that means then they need more pieces of the puzzle to make it a whole specialty. So presto chango, they'll be taking even more of your classes if you can create more classes that cover the rest of those details. Haha. Whew, that was a mouthful. And by goodness and by grace, I know you guys are going to be doing that. You're going to be creating more stuff that goes in depth, more intense, and other people will go, I need to take all of those classes. I want all of that information. I don't want it to be so that they can get certificates and things like that. So that will be smart. Don't share this information right away. Just go home and start working on it, okay? You're not able to jump into it right away. You're blocked from stepping immediately into doing this. It's just because I think you need to run through the development process, creation process of what you're going to offer, and then once they're approved, then they'll be in a position to do that. So no jumping right away. So you just go home and do a little homework, come up with some plans, some synopsises, you know, whatever it is, whatever your syllabi, haha. So then they'll be ready to go, right? The devil is your solution. Isn't that interesting? When sabotaging yourself is a solution to this whole situation, I feel like if what you're getting yourself into here is something that's outside your wheelhouse or outside of your interest level, maybe it's just too darn much. And you're like, you know, this information here, if I let it go and let other people get that information, that way this could turn into other people being able to do this instead of me, and I wouldn't have to do it. So you might be using this version of sabotage for yourself as a tool to create less work for yourself, to put yourself in a situation where you're less involved, maybe. Or maybe you'll just supervise what's going on as opposed to being deeply involved. It's interesting that you don't want to be deeply, deeply involved. So some of you are going to be deeply involved, some of you not so much, but there's something about you letting the information out. This is always a secret. The Three of Swords is always a secret, so you can benefit. Now, sabotage is you letting it go as your solution because maybe it's just too much. So that's interesting. Well, let's see what's going on next week. All right, the next week is the 21st through the 27th. You will be having enough money in inheritance or otherwise family money will be enough to take care of you in some other way, which is super cool. And I love that for you. You're not going to have any particular financial concern at this time. Good news. Things are going to be moving extremely slowly at this time, so just be aware that it's on a putt-putt boat, right? Everything is moving super slow. Don't worry so much. It is blocking you, but I don't see you concerned about it. You are living outside the limiting beliefs. Your ideas are moving forward in a very big way, but you're also moving beyond what other people said you could or couldn't do. This could also be your own limiting beliefs, so just be gentle with yourself even as you move forward, because it's a big step, and I like that. And you're doing it slowly and gently, which isn't a bad thing. Interesting. Because this looks like you stepping into something big and new with family help, da-da-da-da-da-da, while this one's saying you're going to sabotage yourself at maybe you're moving from one location to another, so that this would be a personal project over here versus something bigger over there. I don't know. That's interesting. I think it's all going to be revealed when we go deeper. So I'm going to go ahead and save these cards over here, Scorpio, so that we can go in depth on them in other weeks. So, all right, let's go ahead and start out here with the first week of September being the August 31st through September 6th. I have this beautiful Tarot of the Abyss, which is going to support us with all of the going further. We saw one card a month or a week, one card a month last month. So now we're going deeper and getting more involved with this deck. It's all black and white sketches, so they're very fine line and very exciting and interesting. So let's play with them. So what's going on? Where are you for the August 31st through September 6th? We show that you're going to be teaching people what you know. You're going to be sharing your ideas. This is great. I love this for you. There is also an opportunity for you to stand up for who you are and how you do it, because your unique view and voice is important, and we want you to share your unique voice at this time. So don't let anyone tell you how it should be done, okay? Now, all of this is going to work towards a stronger financial foundation for yourself, so you are in the right direction, taking good care of yourself, and I love that, okay? Well done. Where you're blocked. Okay, so you're blocked right now from remembering lessons from your past. Something about this whole scenario, you've seen it before, or it's happened before, and I want you to just sort of pay attention to what's going on. And maybe you're trying to do all of this with some old client that you've worked with before, and you thought, I'm going to give him another shot, right? I want to give him another shot. There will not be a celebration at this time, because I feel like whatever's going on with all of this, it's kind of worky, it's kind of grindy, but you're working it out, and I feel like somebody's giving you a run for their money, for your money, because it's a bunch of different things, and you're not able to celebrate, you're not able to remember the past experiences, and you're certainly not allowed to be in charge in this moment 100%. So somebody's in the mix trying to take over a little bit, even as you're trying to do your thing. Somebody else is still trying to take a piece of the pie. They're trying to dominate the situation and tell you what to do, which is super frustrating. And you're like, what is going on here? I can't celebrate any of this. This is ridiculous. And I should have known better. I should have known better. So here we're looking at your solution being Three of Pentacles. Other people are still observing you and thinking, well, we could definitely use them somewhere else, even if this isn't you being changed, or you're observed in a new way. Okay, so people are observing you and getting something more out of the experience of seeing you. So that's what's happening, is that they're discussing the concept of, well, is there another way we can use them besides this too? So it's in addition to, not instead of. Okay, you're not going to get fired or released from this other project. That's not the case. You're going to keep working through this thing, although you look like you might want to get dismissed from it. You're going to stay. You're going to do the thing. Just try and remember now, because now that you're starting to wake up a little, I think that there's judgment needs to be used. Use your best judgment at this time. Take good care of what you're dealing with and who you're dealing with, because they are important in their own special way. So even as you're reclaiming your power, because yeah, you're blocked from being in charge of the situation, even though you're supposed to be in charge of the situation. Interesting. And we cap it with the Six of Wands. So you might have to teach or learn something new in the mix. I feel like you might be teaching in a different way, taking into consideration even more so who you are, but also who they are. Maybe they have specific needs or wants or whatever desires that you have to fold in. Some of them aren't going to have the patience to go through the entire curriculum. They're going to be like, I came here to learn how to do CPR. I don't want to do all this other stuff first. I want to do CPR. Thanks. Can we just do the CPR and get on with it, and then I'm out? So people's lack of patience means that they're not getting the full curriculum, and they're certainly not going to get the full certificate. They will only get the teeny tiny certificate that just says, check, CPR, get out. So being aware that you may need to make a decision or a change, because if you're doing like a whole bunch of class, like a whole day-long or weekend-long seminar situation where different things are being taught at different times, and finally CPR is one of them, and this guy is like totally not waiting and really disruptive in all the other classes, you may have to decide about something to do, right? Something to work it through, and you may have to find a way to give that person like a private little quick class to get them their tiny little certificate and get them out of your hair, and not have that disruption so you can get back to what you were normally doing, which is frustrating. You're like, I've seen this all before. Why didn't I start with just the CPR class and let other people just disappear out of this space? Because you've seen it before where people just showed up, took the CPR and left, and you ended up with almost nobody at the end of the day, which is why you didn't do it that way. And you've got a whole situation where you wait till the end of the day to do the CPR for a reason, so that you have, and you're giving them valuable knowledge and information that they can actually use. It's just the CPR comes at the end, correct? And you're working that through, but I feel like you will have a disruptor, and this disruptor will cause things to be less fun. So do what you need to do to get rid of the disruptor. Might be during lunch break, you say, dude, come here. We're going to do this quick, and you're going to leave. And then I'll be on my merry way, so will you. Okay, cool. And then presto, you'll be done with that guy, and you'll be able to enjoy the rest of the other people, because sometimes the one person can spoil the soup and everybody else gets messy and everybody else doesn't do their job at all, and it's so frustrating. So I want you to unfrustrate yourself, and in a very good way. Cool. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get a Mystic Forest Oracle card for you, because that's fun. Let's see what's happening here. That's the one. Right there. Okay. Cool. So we're going to go ahead and set these cards aside. What do we get? No problem. Haha. You're not meant to struggle and fight your way through. Drop the concerns of your ego and watch imaginary walls crumble away. You've already won. So, when you let your ego get out of the way, there is no problem. So, if it's your ego, Nine of Wands, I want to do this my way, right? You wanting to do this thing your way, and you mostly can. I think you mostly can do everything you want to, but I think that there's this one little snafu you're going to work through, and I want you to know that you're not like in a bad position with it, because it's really no problem at all. Like I said, take a break, give that guy a CPR class, and get him out of your hair. And then you can go back to what you were doing your way, and everybody else will actually appreciate that, because they didn't like him around either. So you are saving everybody from the same frustrated problem, which is no problem at all. Ta-da! Okay, so let's look at this card here, which is your mystery card. Oh yeah, the sun is here. You're learning new things. You're going to learn new things really fast, and then you're going to be able to get on with what you're doing, because you'll have a disorientation, meaning that you'll walk into the space and have all this stuff happening, and having not remembered lessons from the past, you're like, okay, if I have this person who really needs this thing, we usually have them stay at lunch, and then we just take care of them and they get out, okay? But we make them wait until lunch. That's fair. but you forgot about that little thing only until this guy picked at your nug and poked at your head a lot of times during the day. So you're remembering, you're bringing it together, and you're going to have it be very good, and it's going to be very nice. So I love this on this there for you, because you're learning and you're remembering, and it's all coming into good ways. All right, so using good judgment handled the thing, right? Let's get you a pocket full of rocks. All right, black tourmaline, ooh, black amethyst, and blue calcite. Ooh, all right. So black tourmaline is all about you staying grounded and in your body and taking good care of what's going on in the earth plane, watching where your feet are, how you land so that you don't hurt yourself, okay? But also how you interact with people on the earth plane, because you are in the body, okay? Good. Blue calcite, have a clear voice, speak clearly, and blow out any other stuff that isn't there. You know, other people will get squishy or have a lot of subtext when they talk, and we're not doing that. We're going to be very clear about what we want, what we need, and what we're sharing, so that you're teaching very, very almost clinically, but in a good way, and everyone's going to get what they're supposed to. Very nice. Black amethyst. Oh yeah, this is a beautiful stone. It's a 6th chakra stone. It is all about how you see through your third eye your impact on the planet. And I mean like the whole globe. When you look at it like a big marble in front, or big ball in front of your hand, or in your hand, you can see who you are in the world, how your activities create ripples. It's like you're a drop of water in a lake, and then it creates a little ripple. La 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 la. Well, the ripple becomes a wave. Okay, cool. And then the wave becomes a tsunami. And it changes the world, correct? Yes. Energy is like that. And you don't need water to make it happen. But it can, in fact, create a tsunami of beauty and wonder and joy. So the knowledge that you're sharing is important. Please don't stop doing what you're doing, and know that you'll see, if you meditate with this black amethyst, your impact. And I want you to see, if you decide to do that, I think you'll be surprised at just what impact you're having on the whole globe as a whole, and you're important. So keep doing your due, all right? This is an encouragement stone. It is not about anything like needing to change or alter what you're doing, because I want you to see your impact and then be able to remember that you are valid and important, as you are. All right, Scorpio. Wow, what a week, right? Be careful about that poison pill in your class, all right? Because you can do the right thing and figure it out, but you'll do it in a well-timed situation so that it doesn't seem like they're getting special treatment one way or the other, and everybody will be on board, okay? So that's very cool. If you don't want to carry those rocks, you don't have to, but if you want to carry those rocks or any other rocks, and you want to comment below and discuss the rocks with me, I'm into it. I'm here for you. That would be super fun. There's also the naming of the turtle is going on, right? We're working on naming this turtle, so I think he's fun. I think he is also non-gender specific, so whatever you decide, and put the name options down there in the comments below, and I'll add them to the list so that at the very end of this month of September, you can go ahead and vote, all right? Super fun. If you haven't looked in the description box below, there's all kinds of really cool information there. You can see that there's a list of all the cards that I'm using, so that you can buy them on Amazon or Etsy if you want to have them in your hot little hands. There's also a list of all the fairs that I go to where I'm going to be at the Renaissance festivals. Come on out and get a reading in person. I'm here for you. If you don't want to do that, or you can't do that, there's also a link down there where you can book a private reading, and I will happily read for you over the phone. All right? Thank you so much for all your likes, shares, and subscribes. They matter so much to me. And if you haven't already, you know what to do. All right. I appreciate the one and the all of you so much. And we will talk next week about the 7th through the 13th. Thank you.